But that's not me. But I don't do that. But I don't seek this. Dig deeper. When you have an experience of somebody not seeing you, of not being seen, and when I say somebody, it's most likely somebody from your early years of childhood, you will spend the rest of your life trying to be seen. We come into the world and all we want to express is love and joy and creativity and connection and just share abundant love. But when you are met with people who can't show that love or can't accept that love or don't know how to, because they too have been brought up in ways that they don't know how to, love you want to share abundantly as a child is going to be met by somebody who doesn't know how to accept or show that love back. Those needs are not met. And more often than not, that leads to not being seen, not being heard, not being loved in the way we expect as children. But this feeling of not being seen and heard will stay with you if you do not heal it, if you do not move through it, if you do not understand the core of where that started and actually revisit it. What happens when you're not seen and heard is that you will play out behaviors in the rest of your life as an adult in ways that get you seen and heard. Because ultimately your body remembers that those needs need to be met, and because they weren't already met, you will need to meet them at some point. And therefore you will start playing out behaviors, you will start putting yourself in circumstances, you will try to achieve things that make you seen and heard. So how did this play out in my later life? It played out as I became the overachiever. I would do my best in absolutely everything and more. I would do everything I could. I would do, achieve, get the best I could in all those achievements and hope that that would make me feel seen. And hope that that would make me feel valued. In hope that that would give me worth. Because as a child, what my body remembers is that I feel worthy of something, I need to have done something, creating a tie between how much you are worth and how much you do. When you create a tie between how much you are worth and how much you do, which happens from that early conditioning, you will play out into the rest of your life seeking more clients, seeking more success, seeking more achievements and titles, seeking more. But what that more is doing is it's only momentarily making you feel more worthy, more value, more seen, more heard, more worth actually listening to, more worth providing a service to a client, more worth having a relationship. But it's not giving you that worthiness long term. And the reason it's not giving you that worthiness long term is because it's not going to the deep rooted core of why you feel the unworthiness in the first place. That in a nutshell is what shadow work is. Shadow work and this kind of healing embodiment will help you get to the deepest core wound of why you feel unworthy, unheard, unseen, undervalued, not fully loved, not fully accepted. Why you judge yourself. The only reason you judge other people is because you judge yourself. Well, let's not get this twisted. Self-comparison is judgment. People are like, I'm not judgmental. And yet they'll go and compare themselves to 100 different other people who have got more money, more success, more business than they do. The reason you're comparing yourself to somebody is because you are judging that person. It just looks like a different thing. It just looks like it's got a different title. It's got a different title. It's called self-comparison, but you can only compare when you judge. Is that landing with you? You can only compare when you judge. That is a topic that I went on a tangent and we'll come back to that another day. But ultimately, the point here is that if you feel like you want to achieve or do more or get more success or more titles, what's really happening is you're demanding to be seen and heard. The core wound there is you're demanding to be seen. And I say this not because I'm trying to pick out wounds in people or in you listening. If we do not get to that core wound, we will never live a fulfilled life where we feel seen and heard, because we will seek being seen and heard and valued by somebody or something external to us. When we seek validation or when we seek worthiness or when we seek feeling good enough or being seen or heard from outside of us, we're creating a life where you will consistently feel unfulfilled, because you will never ever feel fulfillment, feel purpose, feel aligned, feel deeply happy without a but. When you find that within yourself, that is the only time you can get all of that. When you seek it from outside or achievements or when I'll be happy when mentality. I'll be happy when I have this achievement, this success in my business, this amount of money in my bank account, this type of relationship, this type of home or this size of home or this whatever, fill in the blank. If you seek it from that, you will never find it. Whatever it is that you are seeking and striving for, and sometimes or often feels like it's still not fulfilling you, and you end up in a cycle and you're overworking and you're wondering why you still end up in this cycle, why you still end up in this feeling, is because the feeling demands to be heard. And if you do not hear it, if you do not get to the root of it, if you do not heal it, what you do not feel, you do not heal, if you do not get to the root and heal it, you will consistently play out those behaviors in your life and you will consistently be unfulfilled. That is a harsh truth that not many people want to hear. Not many people want to understand they have power to change that. But that's ultimately what this is all about, is that it's not about, oh, you will never get this and you will never get that. It's, okay, fucking hell, if I don't get this, then I will never feel fulfilled, and I have power to change that. You have power to change that. You are the only person that can change your story, which is what I was saying earlier. If you look outside for the fulfillment, for the worthiness, for the value, for the seen and heard, you will not get it because it's not somebody else or something else that can give it to you. You are the only person that can change your story. You are the only person that can change your feelings. You are the only person. And what happens often is when I work with people in my coaching, it comes up as a very common theme that they either feel bored or they feel unfulfilled or they've got all these things, but they're still seeking more, never actually taking a moment to be present with what's actually been achieved so far. And that's because we're always chasing something, and it's something I resonate with, which is why I attract the same people with the same issues, because I resonate with that. Do not get it twisted. I am so unbelievably proud of everything I have achieved, but those things are not what would give me fulfillment. Those things are not what would make me feel valued or of worthiness or seen or heard. They might have done it momentarily. When I was in my hairdressing career and I was on the fucking stage in the Roundhouse in Camden as one of the top 50 colourists in the UK and Ireland, do you think that did anything for me being seen and heard? Of course it fucking didn't. It felt great at the time. I was fucking proud of myself. And then I got off the stage. And that lasted probably a week. Less than a week. I'm lying. It lasted probably like 2 days. And then I was back onto the next thing. And this is what we do. We seek this thing, this achievement, this fucking thing we put on a pedestal. And then we're like, that's when I'm going to feel it. That's when I fucking made it. No, it's not. Right now, in this day, right now, I am achieving so much less than that fucking Roundhouse in Camden thing. And I have never felt more seen, more heard, more value, more worth, all these things that I want in my life. Never. I have never felt more of that. And that's not because anything outside of me changed. Nothing outside of me has changed. But what's changed is my belief. What's changed is my understanding of why I wanted that thing in the first place. What's changed is actually being able to give myself the need that was never met. That's what's changed. And that's what happens when I work with people as well in my shadow work coaching is that is what people come in often seeking. Oh, I'm not feeling successful because X, Y, and Z. I need to achieve X, Y, and Z and then I will feel. No, nothing outside of you will change what you feel. It might momentarily change what you feel, but when you're seeking long-term fulfillment, when you're seeking long-term faith in yourself, confidence in yourself, abundant creativity, trust in yourself, you're going to have to look inside for that. The problem is that we are in a society that does not teach you to do that. That's why I feel so passionate about this work, because it is absolutely life-changing. I have 101 conversations with people close to me saying, you look so different, you act so different, you feel so different, but nothing has changed. The only thing has changed is my beliefs. The only thing that's changed is my awareness, my understanding of myself, my willingness to be open, honest, and vulnerable. My willingness to admit that I judged the shit out of people. My willingness to admit that I compared myself to people to no end. My willingness to admit that I would strive for fucking achievements and titles just to feel good or better than someone else, or better for a moment because I felt like shit. Bear in mind, this was all happening within my subconscious. I was not consciously choosing to do these things. So if you feel like this is resonating with you, but you're thinking, but that's not me. But I don't do that. But I don't seek this. Dig deeper. Because that is exactly my response. That was my response too. I don't do that. I don't do that. Of course it was fucking me saying that because my ego was getting in the way. My ego was saying, and this is not to judge the ego because there's an absolutely beautiful part to the ego, but the most people with the relationship they have with their ego is it's protective. It's, that's not you. How dare you admit that? No, that's not you. That's not me. I would never do that. I would never seek validation. I would never feel less than. I would never judge somebody. These are all things that I say, my clients say, and we as humanity say. Because it's an unwillingness to go deeper into the wound, to go deeper into the feeling. As a society, we resist feeling. We resist feeling. But what you resist to feel, you resist healing. And if you do not heal it, you will consistently be facing the same cycles. You will always be chasing something to feel worthy to feel worthy, and it will not give it to you. Because you need to feel worthy within yourself. This is a process. It does not happen overnight. But my golly gosh, it changes everything. So I hope I've inspired you.